Hello and welcome to World Talks on TVP World. My name is Anna Kalczyńska. Heavy bombardment of Ukraine overnight shows that Russia targets energy infrastructure ahead of winter. Also, 2 days ago, Ukraine was targeted by heaviest drone and missile attacks in recent months, with strikes hitting several cities across the country, including regions in western Ukraine, areas considered once relatively safe. The assault resulted in numerous civilian casualties and widespread damage to energy infrastructure in the western part. Joining us now is Piotr Kaszuwara, a Polish journalist currently based in Lviv, who has been covering the war in Ukraine since the beginning of the Russian full-scale invasion in 2022. So good morning, sir, and thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Welcome.
You yourself were forced to take shelter during the bombardment, both today and 2 days ago, so happy to see you safe. Can you please tell us and describe what was the situation during that attack?
You know, it was another heavy night, I would say, in Kiev. Unfortunately, the capital of Ukraine was attacked again. Russians attacked also critical infrastructure, the power plant in the city center. I am living very nearby to the city center, and about 2 o'clock, 1:30 Ukrainian time, I was woken up by the massive explosion. I just took my phone and checked in the Ukrainian channels what is going on, and I noticed that the drones, Shahed drones, are attacking the city, but obviously we didn't have too many informations. The attack was going on for a whole night, and in the morning we received the information that also the ballistic rockets are heading Kiev, and from that what we know for now, because the attack just finished like 2 hours ago, 1 hour and a half actually. We know that huge apartment building was attacked. It has 17 floors, about 12 people is wounded. We do not have any information for now that someone got killed in Kiev, but we know that the power plant is damaged because half of the city has no power, no electricity, no water. There is no water in my apartment. There won't be also the electricity, but the building is using the generator. So at least I have a light at home. But the left side of the city is in blackout for now.
So what's the mood among civilians today?
You know what's the mood is already 4 years of the war, and every winter looks like that. Russians are attacking civilian and critical infrastructure every year to make the winter more difficult for the people, and most of us, because I can say like that because I am living in Ukraine from 2022, for most of us we had to find, you know, some solutions. So many places like restaurants, for example, factories or hotels, shops are using generators to keep the electricity. Few schools in Kiev right now are kind of temporary rescue places where people can come, charge their phone, wash themselves, take a shower, drink some hot tea. And we remember what has been going on in Ukraine in past years, and unfortunately we expect the same happening this winter again. Kiev obviously it's in huge danger of blackouts because it's a very huge town. very huge city. It's few millions people living here, a lot of companies, a lot of shopping malls, for example. They need a lot of electricity. Here is 17 hospitals, so they have priority to receive the electricity, not civilians, unfortunately. So we are waiting for the period of year when the authorities will decide probably to do like a part blackouts for parts of the city. And usually it looks like we have, for example, 4 hours with electricity, and then 4 hours without electricity, then 4 hours with electricity, and 4 hours without. This is very difficult, to live in this kind of circumstances, because you need to plan your day very well. If you are going to work, for example, at 8 o'clock and you are unlucky and electricity at your home is during your work hours, then you are coming back home, you have no heating, you have no water, you cannot take shower, you need to do your washing in the middle of the night, for example, and prepare your food for next day. But as I said before, it's already 4 years, so most of the people, they kind of accommodated to live in this kind of
I'm
circumstances.
asking about this.
You can do it fully.
Right. I'm asking about the civilian resolve since apparently Russia relentlessly targets the infrastructure in Ukraine. So what does the strike indicate about current Russia's strategy?
No one knows what is Russian strategy, to be honest, but it's definitely to make Ukrainians' life more difficult, and also to make troubles for the Ukrainian economy, because obviously if you want to see the companies working and hospitals working, they need to have electricity. And also it's to scare people, because we already have seen that this kind of strikes have a huge influence on psychological condition, mental condition of the people. And in the past years, we noticed that if there is no electricity, no water, and the conditions of life are dropping down, people are more open to say, okay, let's give the Russians what they want, let's give them the territories away, but finish this war. We don't want to live like that anymore. So this is probably one of the reasons, kind of, propaganda to make people to accept that actually Ukraine is losing the war and there is no other way. But after 4 years, I will say that again, many people already accommodated, unfortunately, to the war conditions. And we will see how this winter will be, because it looks like it will be very cold. And you need to imagine also that Kiev is not in the worst situation still, because the temperatures in the winter are not that low here, but in the cities like Kharkiv, in Donbass, in Zaporizhia, sometimes you have even minus 40 degrees in the winter. So I cannot imagine how these people will survive in this kind of terrible winter, if it will come.
With the diplomatic effort being stalled, how realistic do you think a ceasefire is at this stage, and what is being discussed in the streets in Lviv?
We pray every day for the ceasefire. We pray every day to see the end of this war, obviously, but unfortunately, it's very hard to say that we see any signs of ceasefire for now. Putin is constantly trying to cheat, even I remember days like Christmas, for example, when Putin was saying that, okay, we are stopping the military actions for a couple of days for the Christmas, because it's very important time for us. So the ceasefire starts at 11 o'clock in the morning, and then at 11 o'clock in the morning I have heard the first explosions, and there was no ceasefire. So this is what people are thinking about deals with terrorists. Yeah, don't be afraid to say that, because Russians are terrorizing Ukraine. How can you describe it in the other words if they are attacking civilian infrastructure? Because the power plants, heating plants, and the civilian buildings are obviously civilian targets. This is forbidden by the international law to attack these kind of places. So the atmosphere in Ukraine, if people are hearing or reading about the negotiations with Putin, is that you shouldn't negotiate with terrorists.
Do you believe that there are signs that Ukraine air defense capabilities stretch thinner as the war continues?
It's up to the supply of the allies of Ukraine, because for now I can say that Ukrainian air defense is really strong. Try to imagine 700 Shahed drones every day in any Western country. I am not sure that any country will survive something like that. And also ballistic rockets, Kinjal, hypersonic rockets, the Dagger rockets. They are very hard to shoot them down. I remember at the beginning of the 2022, when Ukraine received Patriot systems, Americans said that this is impossible to shoot down Kinjal rocket by Patriot because Kinjal is too fast. And right now, Ukraine air defense is actually doing that. So only because of Ukrainian air defense, I am alive. We are alive. Millions of people living in Ukraine are alive. A few days ago, I was in Lviv, and Lviv was attacked by 140 drones and 23 rockets. Whole family got killed in their own house just in the morning, including 15 years old girl Anastasia, whose father is serving at the front line, and he survived. He died in Lviv. You could say safe place, but try to imagine as well, I will repeat it, if all of those drones they will got to the target, there would be thousands of people killed. So Ukrainian air defense is in quite good condition, but as I said at the beginning, it's up to the supply from the allies. If Ukraine will have enough rockets, if Ukraine will have enough anti-drone systems, probably it could be, a lot of people in Ukraine is saying we will be second Israel, living under constant airstrikes and defending. And that's how it looks. We had the airstrikes in the night, like 2 hours ago. I have heard the last explosion, and right now the shopping mall is opening. The everything that has generators right now is opening.
So it looks like it's a new normal in Ukraine. Piotr Kaszuwara, thank you so much for joining us this morning, for sharing your experience, especially having witnessed firsthand the latest escalation. Once again, have a good day, stay safe, and see you soon, hopefully. And thank you for watching World Talks on TVP World. Please stay with us for more.